It's lit.
But yeah, we live.
We live?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, man. Say, man. Do.
What happened today?
Yeah.
These BBLs killing y'all.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Stuck in the Middle podcast, because you know it's up and it's stuck weekly.
Every week.
Hey, week. Guys, listen. Hold on. We're about to do something crazy. I'm about to just start this off the right way, which is we can't do nothing without you guys. It's simple. We need 1,000 followers, all the platforms. And in order to do that, you got to plus one on all of them. But when you get to YouTube, make sure you double punch. That's going to allow you to see all the content, new stories, new reels, new anything. We go live. We want to talk about things. Whatever you get notified right there in that moment. What happened? The tea was bad?
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay, good. Because drinking out the Eagles cup, we got to chill out. We ain't doing that to us today.
Cup?
Yeah,
Got the Eagles shirt on. I had the Eagles chain on.
Eagles. Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Do y'all sing?
It was a little
Hey, we got New Orleans next. We got New Orleans next.
You know, it just feels good to be like us.
Hey, we got New Orleans. Oh, Lord.
They not like us.
Hey, but we might be like them. We got New Orleans next. Oh.
Yeah.
Y'all got New Orleans?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
New Orleans. Hey, you know the worst part too is before the season, Katie had a Southwest companion pass. So we were like, what should we do? Where should we go? What makes the most sense? And I was like, oh, we can look at the schedule. Maybe we go fly a game. I was hoping maybe we play Carolina because we can get cheap tickets at a Carolina game. And we could just fly to Carolina and, go see a game or whatever. And we were looking at the New Orleans game. And we were like, yeah, New Orleans, though, we could probably drive to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be a trash game. Like, is it really worth it? We should have bought them damn tickets.
Yeah, looking back, now looking forward, yeah, you sick.
Hindsight.
Big time. But keep the fan with me. Look who's back.
I'm back in the building. Coach half ref, half higher Fred.
The lizard catcher.
Context.
Yeah.
Diddy's really happening. Please don't say stuff like that.
We gonna call him Jeremy the Exterminator.
Yeah.
Hey, the Germinator.
He used that chrysanthemum.
And he said, "Oh gosh," like the real Exterminator.
Be with Cooks, we locked in.
Yes, sir. No, it's gas for pass.
It's all that.
Yeah.
Gas or pass. Cori from Cori's Corner. Little Pepper over there somewhere. He feel like the past couple of weeks he don't really feel like working. He gonna do whatever he want to do.
I'm telling you that.
Yeah, last week on the episode, he was sitting up here a little bit.
He was asleep.
I'm about to say, he ain't even allowed to be on the couch. What you mean?
I'm the dog whisperer. Guys, I'm the official social cues, and we are the StuckyPod. We're just a pop culture podcast. Nothing too crazy. Just 4 black guys with some hilarious takes about pop culture. We do it in a few segments. We start off with the must stuck of the week. I got a good one this week.
I got a couple of them, really.
Yeah. We move on to you guys. We want to know what your life is about, so please continue to send us your Stucky Situation.
Good.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, I just kind of hit that a little bit. Yeah, but if you can do that at StuckyPod.com, it's actually extremely simple. You go to StuckyPod.com and you go to the Stucky Situations and you submit, again, StuckyPod.com. From there, Brian tells us about what's stuck and stupid in the world. And if it is that stuck and stupid,
put him on the wheel.
It goes there.
Put thy on thy wheel.
It goes there. And then from there, we have to get kind of personal, vulnerable, deep. Pause. Whoa. Diddy. No Diddy. Whoa. The Diddler. I mean, the Cori. Cori. Cori's Corner.
Do not put our names together.
Please.
That boy Diddy can't give me a piece of gum. Shout out to my boy Kobo. He said, hey, Diddy can't give me a piece of gum.
Yeah, who had the best one?
Bro, all the TikToks about him, like when they're like, man, when you go visit him and you sliding out like the oil everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's one video that this girl, she's just like, when you buying the last baby oil at Target. Bro. and she turned around and Diddy picked her up by the...
Yes, okay, because there's a filter. Remember the filter where if you hold it up, somebody pops up behind you?
Oh, yeah.
So I just seen one, literally.
Bro, tell me they made one.
They made one.
Oh, my God.
It's the... That's playing, right? And he looking at the baby oil.
Oh, my God.
And when he pick it up, the camera turned and then he pop it up. And he's like, hey.
No, the best one I've seen is...
That's wild, bro.
What was that scene on... Was it The Watchmen? Where she was running after him and he was putting the baby oil.
Yes.
It was like Diddy running from the FBI.
Bro.
Yo, wow.
My boy's getting...
They said when you pull up to a Diddy party with $999, bottles of baby oil, and it's a clip said, that ain't even enough.
Man, they getting them, boy. They getting them, man. But yeah, so that's it. Cori gonna, you know what I'm saying, get us on our way. Tie us up in a pretty little bow, send us on our week. That is the show, guys. An hour and a half. Hope you stick around. What do y'all think? Some interjections on Stuckers of the week?
Who you got?
I'm going with you first, man. What you the one been gone. Yeah, we want to hear more of you.
I got 2 submissions.
Shoot, my motherstuckers are stuckers. Okay,
My motherstuckers.
I got too many, man. I can't even present all of them. So I'm out this week. I need to funnel down
Okay,
the list of
since we're not at shadow work yet, but can we talk about how you have so many Stuckers of the week?
Because people be my
bro. When I tell you this week, and not even this week, we'll say this year in higher education, bro.
It has been a rough year, I ain't gonna lie.
A mess.
Listen, if you say anything about the regs, I'm gonna lose
Forget
it.
the regs. It's just,
I'm gonna laugh
bro,
on this.
I got cases and cases and cases, bro.
Talk about them.
I'm talking all about them. That I got a lot. That's all I can really say.
Everybody broke. That's why.
No, it ain't.
They broke. They shouldn't be doing this. It's gonna make them
They ain't
more
got
broke.
nothing to do.
It ain't that.
Boy,
I got
Broke ain't
cases,
nothing to do.
bro. I had literally I started the year off within the first week of school. I think I had 2 active cases on my dashboard, bro. By the beginning of last week, by the beginning of this week, I was at 28. Then I was able to close a few away, and I was like, okay, cool. I got down to 20. The same day, so this would have been Tuesday, I knocked them down to 20. By 4:30, bad boy went back up to 29. I was just like, yo, I can't catch a break. And right now I'm at 33.
That's crazy.
Sound like you need to get them cases done, buddy.
To my why you here?
Cases,
Yeah,
I'm
why
about to
you
say,
working? Why you got
if
so many
y'all
cases?
knew what the regs were, you can't just
Right.
close the case in a day.
Okay,
Go
okay.
sleep them regs in.
Yeah.
Slide
You
the
can't
regs.
close the case in one day. Bro.
Slide the regs on
That's
there.
always that's the worst part about case management, bro. You have something on your dashboard for 78 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, we gotta wrap it up, bro.
It's hard. And then you got to get you can't take kids out of class. So I can't schedule interviews and meetings with students while they're in class. I got to wait for them to be out of class. And then they'll be like, oh, I went home.
Oh, fuck all that.
It's a mess, bro. The only time I can pull somebody out of class is if it's a threat to safety. That's it.
I don't know.
What's his name? Fuhad and whatever his name is.
Fuhad and James, bro.
They
up there.
stuck. They some more stuckers
Talk
of
to
the
me.
week.
What's that? Explain that to people.
So they
Shits and
Shits and
Gigs.
Gigs podcast. It's two. They're very a very popular duo. They're from
Talking about Fuzi?
overseas.
Is that Fuzi in there?
Fuzi.
Is that Fauzi? Fuzi? How you say his name? Fauzi? Fuzi?
I was like Fuhad. And,
Nah.
what's his name?
Fuhad and James.
James.
Yeah.
They came to America. They did a little tour. They was in Atlanta, and I think this is like the second time they've been in Atlanta. Because one time I remember one of their podcast episodes they were talking about how they
Oh, when they said there's no bad women in
right, and then Andrew Schultz had started going in on like basically
Stereotypes.
stereotypes of like black women, and they were just like laughing and so they got tore up and like, hey bro, how you gonna let?
and then they went on didn't they go on Black Girl podcast?
I don't know if they did it right afterwards.
They were doing Black Girl podcast and said that like, oh yeah, ain't no bad girls out here. They were on Black Girl podcast.
Right. So there's just 2 things that happened almost in the same week.
Oh, okay, got it.
That happened? So they were like, wasn't no bad girls in Atlanta, and
Which I mean, go ahead.
I find that hard to believe, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know
Being
where
the
you're
mecca
going.
that it is.
No, you like what was that word you used last week about never and everybody and all? It was like a word you said that we use in conversation.
Catastrophizing.
Yeah.
Like it.
So when I say there's no
Right,
obviously
exactly.
I'm sure there's somebody that's
Exactly.
find somebody attractive.
This is why we have to use actual language and not make everything big. You can't
Stop
say
saying literally.
everybody's against me.
No,
That's
probably
just not true.
Probably not.
Right? Okay.
Mostly not.
You got a circle of 10 friends. There was 2 people that was against you. Now everybody's against you. That's why we don't believe you. Anyway, this is the side note. This is the problem with Trump's rallies. Why people find it hard to, if they're not leaning one way, they find it hard to. Because every single time he going to say, something is the biggest, it's the greatest, it's the best I've ever seen, or it's the worst. There's no in between. Anyway, I'm off of that. So that happened. Then they go on Andrew Schultz podcast. Andrew Schultz is basically making a joke. He's punching down on black women to make a joke at them, and they're like laughing at it. They don't check him. So then, they stuck because they had to do a little apology, and people feel like that wasn't even an apology either.
Did you see where he was joking? He was talking about how like the apology was fake because they had the ability to cut out a lot of part of the show, and they chose to leave that in. They chose to leave that in.
It was their episode.
It was their episode on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant 2 podcast.
So how can they cut it out?
Well,
No,
no,
because
like, he
they're-
asked
okay.
them, like, hey,
when you're a producer or something, you can go in and say,
but they still don't have control.
No, they don't have control.
Yeah.
But Andrew was saying, we respect the fact that like they asked us, and if it's like we don't care, we'll cut it out, right? As opposed to like on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne's always said when people come and say, "Don't ask these things" or "Don't do this," I say, "Sure, you can ask. That does not mean I'm not going to ask those questions. This may be your request, but I'm going to do what I believe is my job." Same goes for anything, right?
that's
Like
what
you
I'm
come
thinking.
sit on our couch, you can say, "Hey, don't talk about this topic," and we're gonna probably let you know before, and we ain't gonna make no promises that we not.
No, I'm gonna tell you straight up. We're gonna talk about it.
Hey, so come sit on it or
we,
don't.
Hey, we
Pause.
talk about it.
Come sit on the couch or don't come sit on the couch.
out, bro.
Either way, my point is, I think there were things that they requested to get cut out, and it did get cut out, but they didn't request that part to get cut out. So they didn't see it as being a problem. But once the heat got on them, they started backtracking. They said they were in fight or flight mode. So like really, they felt the way in the moment, but they were just kind of laughing it through. Or da 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 da. So they stuck right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, when you weight those sweeping, when you say stuff like that in a sweeping way,
Right.
and then specifically about Atlanta, like, come on, bro.
Right. And then there was like a Nigerian joke in there too.
Yeah, that's where it gets. I mean, I didn't see that part. And that's why I was saying explain it because some of us didn't get to that
For
point.
sure.
So what's the other one you had?
Diddy.
Yeah, but that's easy. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So I don't have to go too far
What happened
into
with
it.
Diddy? What happened with
You
Diddy?
don't have to go too far into it. Diddy is the diddler, and he got them freak offs. That's what happens.
No, listen, I need to say this clearly. Forget Diddy for a second. I'm talking about them people on them tapes. Listen, I think it's just time to, this is my personal opinion as you're listening to me now. You know if you're on them tapes or not. People on them tapes, you know if you're on them tapes. Listen.
Leave.
Just get ahead of it. No, get ahead of it. It's not going to not come out. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might as well just say, okay, you can do the sketch scenario. What did he do? He just came out and owned it. Like, you know what? Yes, that was me. I was tripping.
Yeah.
You know, was it like, you got to just, man, I'm telling you, the only way back in this moment with the tapes is going to have to be what? Getting in front of it, bro. So
Yeah,
whoa,
but
whoa,
I
no
don't
Diddy.
know.
No Diddy.
The only reason why I feel like that probably won't happen and people are like, it's going to happen is because if we know the Fed's record is always like a wrangle everybody at the same time. Like if they got a RICO and racketeer and everything else,
Yeah.
everybody's coming in at the same time because they already have all the evidence.
Whoa.
So if they
Be careful with this one. This is the Diddler.
Right. if they actually do have these tapes and everything else,
No, they do. 100%.
I feel like they probably would have already. We got to bring them in too.
That's not true because he said in the press conferences everything's on the table forever until we get this close.
Well, no, right. I'm just saying if we look at
Yeah.
the track record of what they normally do.
Yeah, but
So it could still-
this courtroom in New York is very specific to winning RICO cases, and they do it exactly this way, where they piece by piece it, and it could take them a while, but by the time they're done, they close it. So this is their MO. But he also said, no, everything's on the table. Be aware that everybody that's on them tapes, he's saying
What's
this.
on the tapes that can get him in trouble?
Well, it's not about getting them in trouble per se. It's about are they attached to the charges. So
I'm saying,
if
well,
you
what-
were in,
what would they
so
be
I'll give you
looking
an
for in the
example.
videos?
I'll give you an example. So we're talking about the freak offs, right? Can you put somebody in jail for having freak offs?
No,
No, especially if everybody's consensually there.
100%.
Can you put somebody in jail for having freak offs if everybody consensually there, but not consensually wanting to be drugged?
But yeah, so you're looking for people drugging people.
Or a ring of people that set up the scenario for Diddy to be able to drug that person that didn't want to be drugged.
So you have to
Right.
be looking for somebody drugging somebody, because other than that, it's still a freak off.
For sure.
No, that's what the racketeering, the sexual abuse cases, and all
Right.
the other cases are coming from because they're those.
But that's
individual
why
pieces.
I think the roundup won't happen. It's
I
because
don't know if it's a roundup. I think they're gonna get just like this is Epstein 2.0. So they're gonna go for Epstein,
right.
which is Diddy. They're gonna go for what's
The
her name?
closest people.
Gazelle. What was her name?
Yeah,
Small circle. The inner
Maxwell,
circle.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, they
Right.
already found his Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So his
They're gonna keep peeling it
Closest inner
apart,
circle.
so they get to like the fifth layer of the onion, and then they're gonna stop. But that's not gonna stop the public from getting their hands on the tapes.
Right.
So my point to you is, instead of waiting for the internet to get a hold of you and put you out there, however the internet's gonna do it, because God bless, boy, if you let the internet put you out there first,
ain't
I don't
gonna
know.
lie to you now.
I would roll the dice.
Now with Justin Timberlake's deal not coming out.
Yeah, I would roll the
wouldn't even
dice.
trip. Yeah,
I'll roll the dice. If
too.
I have enough money
Won't
to
even
pay
trip.
enough lawyers or whatever else,
Yeah, you're
I
talking
wouldn't even
about,
trip.
but you're talking about names that are big enough to do this.
I'm
That's
talking
what
about
I'm
Kevin
saying.
Lyles. Like, I wouldn't even retire if that was what he retired for.
Yeah,
what?
Lyles.
Like, you know, wait till it hits you.
I ain't saying nothing. Everything's alleged, but
right.
everything
I'm
looks
just
weird.
thinking like, and the reason why I feel that way is because I'm thinking really about the Epstein, bro. We saw the Epstein logs and everything else.
Yeah, it
We
played out.
seen the people names on that, and nobody cared.
It played out. Well, no.
Nobody cared because Epstein died, so it ended.
If Epstein was still alive and that trial would have kept going,
I feel different.
every person on that list would have to be, if not in the courtroom, they would be on that public courtroom. And
Yeah, but
everybody's interview.
Right, but we
You
still
know?
have. Think about it though. We still have those names.
No, but we don't have Epstein. Diddy's here. So this thing is gonna keep going. This thing's gonna keep going until they close it up. I told you this is their MO. This is the office's MO. They're gonna keep peeling back that onion as long as he's still alive. And if they keep doing that, bro, even if it's stuff that doesn't make it illegal, you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, you could have been there legally. The fact that you're now exposed,
Find a reason.
yeah, you could have been there
Find
legally. You could say everything that happened that night between Diddy and I was consensual, and then the judge gonna say, okay, have a good day. But guess what? Everything that happened between you and Diddy that night is on tape, and the world's talking about it, bro. You have to get ahead of it because that means you were lying to the world the whole time. Most of it. For most of the people
They
there.
already are.
Yeah, but it's like what I always say, man. If you're gonna do it, like, do it with some class, man. You know what I'm saying? Do it. If you're gonna lie to me with a smile or something.
Or is it
Or get ahead of
lying? Let's take it from another person's standpoint. And again, I please do not take this as like me co-signing somebody being available or a part of these free calls. That's not what I'm saying.
Go for it.
What I'm saying is, you're enjoying your life. You think Diddy's a friend. He's providing this whatever for you. You go to this party. There's plenty of women there or men, whatever you would like to indulge in. You indulge in this thing not knowing that Diddy didn't traffic these people, not knowing that Diddy didn't drug these people,
different.
whatever it may be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, or even not knowing that they were even taped, right?
Yeah.
Do they know that they were on tape doing these certain activities? Because then that's another thing that you flip
But
on Diddy.
that's what
right?
I'm saying.
I think to
Go ahead,
his
Brian.
point, I don't think that's their job. I think their job is just to take all the evidence they got and form a story.
That's it.
Because at the end of the day, these are parties that they continuously came back to.
Whose job is to
Right.
form that story?
The feds, right?
The feds.
Yeah, they
But
have
if
to.
I'm the
I believe
feds-
it's a RICO case. Yeah,
Right,
they
but
have
if
to
I'm
still
the
a part.
feds, that doesn't mean, and this is to my point. I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
If I'm the feds, that doesn't mean I need to also, unless I am looking at them criminally,
yeah, 100%.
I don't need to tell their story. So me having the tapes is going to be useful for the courtroom or for a log or for maybe the private chambers, whatever it may be, or
Yeah.
what feds normally do, which is to strike a deal,
That's right.
which will never make it to the courts.
No.
I got the tapes. I'll play them for you, and you recognize you're done. You can strike a deal. We don't even have to hit the whatever, right? And then 20 years from now or something, a tape. will leak.
Here's what I'm trying to tell you. It don't matter what they do in that courtroom. I have been hearing about stuff like this for decades.
But if it was the tapes, to his point, they would have, because if they had the tapes in their possession, they would have seen them and they would have got all of them.
No, listen to me. I'm trying to tell y'all. They would not. That's why they showed the guns in the magazines and stuff first, because there's so many people that they have to iron through on this, but they don't have time. And listen to Diddy's lawyer. What did he say when he came outside? He goes, whatever happens, happens. Diddy's great. He's new. He's going to fight this. He's innocent. The last thing he said, and he said, I'm not answering no questions, but this is what I'm wanting from the court. Speed up. Give us a fast trial. As a matter of fact, put him in the special place that you put him in the prison and give him more amenities because you won't let him come home. And I know you don't want to keep paying that for a long time. So if you put me in this place in New Jersey, he's saying this all out loud. If you put me in this specific jail in New Jersey, it costs this much every single day. Do you want to keep paying that every single day and asking the taxpayers to pay this for him while he's sitting there rotting, while you guys are talking to 50 million people about their sexual exploitations? Make it fast.
I mean, but making it fast is also part of his rights. Like not to say that it's guaranteed, but like everyone has the right to a speedy trial.
100%.
The lawyer is just being smart by saying
And
that.
hoping,
100%.
hoping that there's some sort of like fub in the fastness.
speed,
But
yeah.
listen,
the
every
evidence.
single play has an opposition. So if you're in the court system, and you know this, you're in legalities and judicial stuff all the time. Every play has a system. If the defendant's case is to say hurry up. The judge is saying no,
Slow
not
down.
the judge. The people defending the state will say,
No, we need to slow it down. We need more time for
yeah,
evidence.
I need more everything, right? And so they're going to play whatever loophole they play from now to the next 17 years if they wanted to make sure they get that time. It could be the simplest. Oh, I turned my ankle. I can't come in today. Oh, like whatever they're going to do is their play to oppose you trying to go fast. Because what's more important to them is I need to get the most data I can possibly get, talk to the most people I can possibly talk to show a pattern.
Right.
Because maybe the evidence isn't strong enough. Because I don't know if those people really enjoyed being on drugs in that moment specifically. But I do know that most of them didn't know they were being recorded. And this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
I might have been consensually there. But I was not consensually there knowing that I was going to be blasted to the world one day. What if you never told me that? And here I am, like, doing my thing.
But
I'm like, huh? What?
they're gonna have to that point, I think if they use tapes as evidence, they're gonna have to use them in a way that also isn't exploiting the victims.
100%.
Because
this is why they only showed the guns in the magazine.
Right, but here's my point. That's why I don't think the tapes will leak. That's why I'm saying if you're
tripping.
a part of the no. I don't think they'll leak. I think what would happen.
I think that they're. So I'm going to tell you what I believe based off of my research prior to all this coming out for the last year. The tapes are already out there.
I think the Justin Timberlake play changed everything. They ain't released his tapes. Diddy's tapes ain't coming out, bro. It's just too many. It's too much.
I think
power.
it's too.
It's too many
But
people there.
you know what's on the other side of the tape is whoever your mother stuck of the week is.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Who is your
Oh no!
mother?
Well, let's get B Woods first. Might as well
I ain't got
start.
one.
No
That
motherfucker.
watermelon is
That $16 watermelon.
Fact.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna just say this to all people that hate people. So this is not about that one person. I don't want to iron anybody out. I'll just say this for all people that hate people. I was involved in a weird little situation today. I'm gonna try to brief it up a little bit, and also have to slide very cautiously down this ice hill. So I'll be.
I'm gonna help you with that because there's something you said earlier. I was just like, can't say that yet.
Yeah. So, this isn't alleged. I experienced this, so all this stuff is what I experienced. But
leak the tapes.
Huh?
Delete the tapes.
Yeah, no, don't delete the tapes. I need them tapes.
He said leak the tapes.
Oh yeah. Oh, no worries. Don't worry. It's coming. But no Diddy. So yeah, it's 6 a.m, kind of dark outside. I'm getting ready for an event that starts at 7 o'clock. Won't say what for, but it's something happening soon. Okay, that's important for the story. But I'm pulling up to this part of the road where there's a non-permissible parking sign that you can't park past that sign past a certain time. Okay, this place that I'm going to, I've been there several times before. In this moment, I decided to put my hazards on. I needed to essentially get my druthers about what I was. It was early in the morning. I couldn't see what I was doing. I wanted to get out. And I still was on the other side of that sign. This random guy that was driving on the street pulls up. Mind you, 6 a.m, okay? There's me and this other guy on the street. So no other cars, just me and him.
And this is in what city?
This is in North Texas.
There you go.
Okay. And it's a 3-lane street. 3-lane street. Just what I said.
One way turn lane in the middle.
Oh, okay.
No.
Or
all one way. It's
okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you can go wherever you want to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're on this thing. I get out of my car. I open the door. I haven't closed the door, nothing, and I just hear just honking on the horn. And I'm thinking, man, why is this person honking on the horn? And I see the lights pull up behind my car, and it's the truck that ends up being in this situation. I'm so tired. It's early. I haven't finished my coffee. I'm like, man, I don't even know what this dude's honking at, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So I literally just kept doing what I'm doing. Buddy rolls his window down, starts calling me everything, bro. All kind of like N-words and all kind of stuff, bro. He's just going crazy. I'm talking about hard R the whole time. Every other word was that. So I was like, okay. I still don't understand what he's upset about. So he starts rolling the window down and telling me what he's upset about. He's like, man, what are you doing? Can't you read the sign? It says don't park there. What are you doing, man? We got places to be. And he just keeps going. Get out the way. Move your car. All this stuff. He's going. At this point.
And if I'm hearing you right, you're not blocking him in. He could have just left.
There's literally no one on the street.
Right. So
and there's 3 lanes.
He could have.
He didn't even have to get behind me.
Right.
Like he could have just literally kept driving, bro. I didn't understand it. So when he stopped, I assumed that he was trying to get my attention for something.
Right.
I didn't. When I tell you, I
Hey,
was
your
so,
tail light is out.
or anything. Maybe something's wrong with him because he was slamming on the horn like. So I'm thinking, dang, something's wrong. So I kind of looked at him like, what's going on? Boom, he starts going crazy. So I'm like, whoa, okay. But there's a certain level when you know your life is in danger. There's like a certain level of like a face that this person makes that you know they on demon time.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah, but it wasn't on some like he just wanted to fight. It's on some like I knew.
I want something to pop off so it could be something.
That's right. Like I could tell he wanted to like low key. I could tell he wanted to end my life type thing. It was just he was so angry, bro. I've never seen anything like this. He was so angry. So I'm still confused. Like, why are you so angry, bro? Yeah. So so he says what he says about the sign. So I wanted to say this about people that hate. When you hate so much that you skip past reality just to hate, listen, man, that's like psychopath. You are sick, man.
Yeah, you're sick.
So, like, in other words, I could say, hey, look, the sun's right there. I hate sunlight. I'm stupid. Every time I go outside, it's hot and it's bright, and I gotta wear glasses. And like, yeah, but it's. I mean, the sun is up 12 hours a day. Like you can't skip. Oh, just the sun. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that. It's not the sun. It's some other thing. It's some other power source. It's just when you're like that and you have to come up with these whole new things just to hate. You are sick, bro. Like crazy. Mind you, still 6 a.m. Don't even know how you hate that early. Like you just woke up.
Or I'm about to say, or he headed home.
Whatever it is.
It's too early for the Bulls.
Yeah, call it the end or the beginning. You call it whatever you want. It's not even the sun ain't even out, fam. It's dark. So boom, he starts going. So I see it in his eyes. It is flipped over. He started hard R-ing every other word at this point. And I've seen it, the flip in his brain. So I'm like, oh, so now I immediately feel like I'm in danger, right? Immediately. I won't go into too many details, but I started focusing on my de-escalation tactics in my brain because I need to see what he's the one in the car. I'm standing outside. He has a tool right now. I don't, right? So if he wanted to pull over and do something in the car, you see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So I'm trying to de-escalate, trying to figure out what's my best angle here to attack whatever he's about to do. This fool gets out the car. He starts walking toward me, and yeah. Listen.
Shirt with a cave up.
Hey, please.
Shirt with a cave up.
Please. I can't go too deep. Please.
I'm just saying for me.
No. We'll talk about it off this because I can tell you I'll tell you this part, and then off the line we'll talk about the real. So, I immediately go to that thought right there. So what's the first thing I do? I lean back into my car and go into the middle console, which is, anyway, I see my phone there, my second phone. I see my second phone there.
Oh, I can record.
Well, I think of two things I could do right there. Record, take pictures, yeah, obviously.
Right.
But the other is let me test his will right now because I'm fight or flight, and you know me, I'm never a flight. Like when I'm in a fight mode, it's like we just gonna handle it. Yeah. If it's awkward, if it gets bloody weird or whatever, I'm gonna handle it. So I'm already in fight mode. So I'm like, I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna act like it's something. So I just put it like this under my shirt, and he backs up while still giving me all the stuff, right? So I'm like, this dude really was trying to, he was really about to come up here and try me.
100%.
On some was gonna try to hurt me because there's only just two of us here now. There's nothing. There's no cars driving by. It's 6 in the dark. So, boom, he backs up. He gets in his car again, but he don't close the door. He starts looking around. So I'm like, God, you know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Right.
It's tit for tat, boy.
Right. So I said, now I'm like, dang, that didn't work. I thought it worked, but it backfired. I get back in the car, and I start fumbling around. I know it ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I'm fumbling around So he takes out his phone and starts recording the back of my car, for some reason. So I'm like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? He's scared, too. He don't know what just happened.
Yeah.
He did too much, and he thought something was about to happen to him. So now he's scared, too.
Now he can pull the phone out. He got the
so
TikTok
I
moment.
immediately kind of, all the life went from my, just being in my toes, back into my body. Because, bro, when I came in there and realized how, I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? I just had my phone. Man, I'm talking about everything went to my toes, boy. I was like, dang, this is how. This is the one that's going, this is the way I'm supposed to go out, bro. This is crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or him, whoever, it was going to be me or him in that moment. I'm telling you, I was in fight mode. It was just not, I'm just telling you, if I would have turned around and he was that close to the point where he was coming the way he was to me, and he would have kept coming if he didn't start backing up, bro, it would have been crazy. So long story short, he gets in the car finally after taking the pictures of my car, which was bro, what? And then he closes the door, pulls around, and he stops, and now he's still going. So now I'm thinking, okay, it's his car he's in, my car's in between him and me, so I got to try to get to the phone now. So I pull it out, and I'm just trying to not let him see that I'm recording because I don't want to escalate it more, but I do need something because, this right here in real life, if I don't have nothing, they going to say it's me versus him, and,
These days, I'm going to put it in your face.
Yeah, you
No,
put it right in their
100%,
face.
100%. But in that moment, because I already saw what he was on, and I noticed what I had going on, so I'm like, I got to be way smarter right now. So I was, and the whole time I stayed in this weird calm because again, I'll talk about it more offline, but I was in such a weird calm at the moment, so I just transferred all that energy right back into being calm, and I just recorded him, and he was going crazy, calling me all kind of names and all this stuff, so let's talk about this for a second. Why is he the Unstuck of the week, though? Because people can be angry, bro. People can go overboard, and you can just pray for him and love on them and all that good stuff. But why is he Unstuck of the week for me? This fool was telling me that I need to read the street signs and understand the laws of the streets before I start driving on them. Because he was saying that I shouldn't have been parking there because the sign says no one park past this line between
parking beyond this point.
The permissible sign, beyond this point past between 7 and 9 p.m.
It's
or
6 a.m.
It was 6. I said, sir, it's 6 o'clock. And that's what escalated him. Because I was like, what?
The daylight times thing.
He was in New York last night.
I just switched today.
No, sir.
It's just switched today. He on 7.
You can't. So you're telling me you almost went to a place where somebody was willing to, defend himself to whatever level it looked like because of a error that you're trying to make this person correct because you think they're reading the sign or not reading the sign when, man, you ain't even looked at your clock. This is where we live, bro.
It's not even that. It's, first off, we're gonna pivot real quick.
Yeah.
This ain't Unstuck of the week.
Yeah.
Unstuck of the week is definitely Diddy.
Yeah.
You, sir, we're in a Stucky situation. So us three, because you get your story.
Yeah, come on.
Us three get to give you advice on how you could have gotten unstuck, even though you did get unstuck. So if you finish, and then we'll give you advice.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So we don't have no.
Well,
no, we do, but we'll
tell you how
start next week.
Again, y'all know me, so I say 6-7 years ago, a little bit more radical minded, a little bit more emboldened. I think this moment would have been different, right? Because I would have attacked back. And I've shown that I've shown those lapses. Now, but I've shown those lapses even with my family. One time a guy was trying to use his car to run over my wife at a Marshall's, and I chased him down essentially with my son in the car.
Reasonable crash out.
Sure, but I'm saying my baby son was in the back. I don't know what he had going on initially. I assumed based off of the way he was moving, he didn't have that on him. So I pressed him, and I was right. And he'll never forget that moment. He'll probably be afraid of black people forever. But I look back on that moment and call myself foolish. I had my son in the back. Anything could have happened, and he would have been just there and seeing all this. So 7 years ago, yeah, I would have crashed out right there. But I gave myself grace because I used my training, number one, my de-escalation training in the moment. And at 6 in the morning without finishing my coffee. And then at the end, even when he was going crazy and calling me all kind of names, I just was like, listen, man, I could tell you hurt. I don't know what this is about because this is literally insane. So, but I could tell something there. So I just kept telling him, God bless you, man, and have a good day. But I need you guys to know even that can escalate somebody because they are not looking for an affirmation of.
No, it's dismissive to them.
Yeah, it's almost like you're not addressing what I'm talking to you about.
It's dismissive.
Which is okay to say, which I said that too. Listen, we're not. The boundary set. I'm not gonna have a back and forth. I don't even who are you? I'm not about to let you rattle me, fam. But you're not also gonna come into my space without me having some kind of defense mechanism. This is crazy. So, they were taught to be aware, and look around and make sure you see what's going on, assess the situation, and I had to continue to do that throughout that little 2-minute stretch. It was literally 2 minutes, could have changed my life, So yeah, that was my Stucky situation. But yeah, I got out of it.
Man, the reason why I say that is because I didn't read this Stucky situation, but it's about as long as that story.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, hold on.
My bad. It was just as long as. Oh wow.
So we'll move that to the next week.
Okay. I was
we're moving on to SNS?
No, not yet.
We're getting feedback.
Feedback and then quickly move on to
exactly.
My feedback is number one, obviously stay aware. Number two,
LTC.
I don't know why. Like, if there was one LTC for the win. If there's one thing that I feel like we all grew up with, and I used to hate it growing up, but I love it now more than ever. I hated that mom used to make us like read the dictionary and have like, cause my vocabulary is crazy, and sometimes like just use the words that you're trying to use, synonyms of the words you're trying to use to figure out what those words can be to help de-escalate. But obviously, with your surroundings, did you have your watch on you?
All of that.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like use some of the things to your advantage. Like if you was dipping in to get your phone, could you have activated the voice recorder and all that stuff from your watch instead? You know what I'm saying? Like remember, like for
it's like watching game film.
Remember your training.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot happening when you're holding like tacos and bags.
Look, the difference is, you know, or not even that, you know, especially for what you do and how this could potentially happen again.
Yeah,
you know, like this isn't going to be the only time. No, you know, this is Texas where we live.
Yeah.
And so like for me, it's one of those things where like you almost have to train that fight or flight so that it becomes so natural to be aware in that fight and flight. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'll never forget like when we did all of our training and everything else and coming up, it was so difficult for me to get out of that mode. And like the heart race and everything else, like I couldn't control it. I knew what I needed to do, but like I still felt like I was a different human. Yeah. And now the fight or flight is going to be there.
No, it's
so
impossible.
let me point that out, y'all. Like I'm not saying that you can truly override that.
But you can train in it.
Yeah, you can channel. I think what you do is you channel either side because I want to make sure that we're very clear here. Both are healthy.
Yeah.
At some point you need to.
You got to know when you got to go.
Yeah. At some point you need to flight. At some point
I know
you have
when
to
hold
fight.
them.
And that's just the truth. So
I just hope you don't freeze.
Well, no, there's 3 assessment moments I had in that process. I had to reassess 3 times because the first time was, remember, windows up, horn. So I'm assessing. I have no clue what that is yet. So I'm standing in assessment mode like, come on, talk to me. What you got going on? Window rolls down. Immediately, the tone is changed. So now I'm in reassessment mode like, okay, this is danger. You see? And I already,
Will Robinson.
Yeah, the anger I had already started like it just don't take long for something like that. Like, why are you so mad, bro? Because now I want to know, like, I want to see how far you can go now.
Curiosity killed the cat.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So if in my unnatural way of resolving things, I would go straight to fight. I'm like, you know what? Let's see how far you'll jump. Let's see. Now I sit there and I say things like, well, sir, is there something like, is there anything I can do? Nothing. Okay, cool. Look, I think it's best you probably drive away. You know what I'm saying? Please don't get nuts to me. It's probably best you drive away. I'll take the information next time. You know, like
what do you say? A 40-year-old version? What do you say? See, now you're being condescending.
Yeah,
you've been warned.
Yeah,
let's move forward amicably.
And I'll say one other thing that could be useful is to not allow the curiosity to kill the cat in those moments. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
the easiest way to get it into it.
For me, I know for one thing, like not even growing up with y'all, but just growing up in general, like there were moments like in the fights that we had when we were little where like you knew that you could have stopped.
Oh,
not you specific, but you want to keep going.
You want
like,
to see how far you
this is a prime example. Watch listeners and watchers. This is a prime example of there are moments where even though you know you can, you probably shouldn't.
This is not a good idea
because that you don't have the control you think you do.
Also,
so,
you don't know what the other forever in your life. You should never underestimate your opponent. Now this person is a little older.
Learn from the Eagles and the Falcons.
Well, this person's a little older, or whatever, and that don't mean nothing. You know, so I just
he got enough fingers to hold the grip.
Whatever it looked like,
he's a pull a trigger.
So here's what I assessed. He's 10 level crazy because he got out the car.
Yeah, you're wild, bro.
Yeah, if you get out the car,
because that means he don't care what's happening to him.
He's a great white.
Yeah, he wanted a shark.
Bro, that
he was about to blast
bro, going crazy.
No.
He stopped that car. Your ass got nervous.
Right. If you get out, bro,
because I'm listen.
What kind of truck? Chevy or Ford?
Boy,
one of them old Chevys?
No, it's a Ford HD XLT.
Yeah.
Did he have any shades on that was straight back?
Oh, he had shades. It was I'd say he's older, right? He had on spectacles.
Boy had a monocle.
Like when he walked to get that phone, that's when you were like, oh, this, like you said, that was
you gonna pull that
because I didn't know it was a phone at first,
or something else.
I just saw the way he was fumbling in the car. I said, oh snap!
I would have went stuck and stupid.
No, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. In that moment in my past, I react to get ahead of what I think is happening. Now look, now I see he pulled out a phone. Now imagine in my head, I thought to myself, "Oh, that ain't no phone."
Like you say, low key, you started it because you went in there and grabbed whatever he probably thought you.
Here's the crazier thing. My intention was, everything happened in 2 minutes total. From the time I stopped the car to the time he drove off was exactly 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So like when I tell you everything moved so fast, and I had no, like the initial thing that was happening was not registering as this is danger. It was registering as something's wrong, and this is this area is known for crazy stuff happening. So in my mind, I'm like, whatever, just another person honking their horn. Man, that switch from that mentality to what's happening, that was probably 15 seconds. And I had stuff in my hand. So really, I was going to put the stuff down. And on the way out, I started realizing as I'm putting stuff down, like, I got to come up with a plan right here because I'm vulnerable and this person's on the way.
The movie then.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, my soul went to my toes, bro. Like, I went white because I just felt like, bro, I'm doing it. Like, no, meaning like I'm not like physically in an altercation right now, but my body is like, we're fighting, and I'm like, so I'm pressing it down, but also trying to understand everything. And as I'm moving, I'm talking about, bro, this has to be, and I'm pulling back out and I can see him like, yeah, what you gonna do? And saying all this crazy stuff. Yeah. So I'm just still standing there. Because again, I don't know who's recording. I don't know who's watching. I'm pretty sure there's somebody who's seen it. And luckily there is a guy who witnessed it. Thank God. I saw the whole thing. And can verbatim, the way I'm telling you is how it happened. So
where that dash cam at?
Listen, I had the door open.
I'm confused. Where the dash cam at?
I don't keep it on unless
when
I lock the car, it turns on. And I was literally standing outside with the door open. So it wasn't like
you wasn't in Tessie?
Yeah.
So here's a way to get unstuck. Oh. Keep your dash cam on.
I'm about to say that bad boy stay recording.
It's on.
You gotta have your. Do you have a secondary button active? Like, or do you just let it record on its own?
No, like, so mine, well, I'm not telling nothing, it don't matter, but mine is set to when I walk away. Like, the second I close the door, and I start walking away.
Oh, and you go in sentry mode. Yeah, I'm talking about, like, in the moment, though, while the car is, like, live, that still has that recording feature.
Yeah, but no, I don't, to keep my battery, because I drive a lot, I don't turn that on. Because, I mean, also...
that boy stay on, which is understandable, because my battery don't last as long as it could have when I started leaving that bad boy on. But that security?
No, but again... Yes, there's a lot of things in hindsight that I could probably do to advance my safety, and I'll continue to work on those things. Like
conceal carry.
Again,
LCC, boy.
Again, we'll.
Of course.
Anyway, moving on.
That boy is almost stuck and stupid.
This episode 50, isn't it?
Yes.
Y'all should know all this by now. But
100%.
It's a segment where a person, place, or thing finds themselves in a stuck and stupid situation, and then we put them on that motherfucking wheel.
Let's go.
Cori, spin that wheel.
Spin that block. That's what somebody was trying to do. Crazy.
So they stopping these days in trucks,
bro. Jumped out and everything. I was in. You know how when
President
when you about to get to a fight. Look,
they got that
and
boy
you start
for the
like
bowl.
laughing.
Yeah.
Yo, this is a good. I'm sorry.
A kid got arrested, and a journalist in Georgia posted the wrong kid's photo. Oh, this from last week. So let me restart all this. A kid got arrested, and a journalist in Georgia posted the wrong kid's photo instead of the right one. Is it stuck and stupid for the journalist not to apologize?
Yes.
Yes.
1,000%. Yes.
Yes.
Especially because it wasn't a non-news station, like an actual news station. For example, Fox is entertainment, not news. So you get what I'm saying?
Bro, we gotta get back to a world where retractions are back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like at one point in time, and for you youngins, maybe you don't know this. It was not cool to lie.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
and if you did,
you know why? You had to reprint the magazines.
Yes.
You had to lose money. Yeah.
You're going to lose money because if you were to print a story and there were some falsities in there, you have to go back and print a retraction.
Otherwise,
you would state an apology and then state the true facts. Now we just got people with clickbait articles at the top saying whatever they want to say, and people don't get sued enough.
Also,
facts.
That's a media rabbit hole. Never mind. But if that works, if that works, what I'm trying to say to people is if that works in that sense, you got to believe that it works in the bigger sense too.
Try to get that money. Can't you get sued for defamation or whatever it is?
You can, for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, but defamation and libel and all that are very difficult to prove.
Oh, okay.
Super.
Ooh, ankle pop.
Spin that wheel.
That was quick.
Well, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was waiting for somebody to say no so I can get mad.
Is it stuck or stupid to base your political choices solely on your religious beliefs?
I'm stuck in on this one.
Stuck,
I
yes.
say I'm stuck.
stuck.
And I say I'm probably more stuck no.
Yeah.
Than
stuck yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Or stuck and.
Now I'm more stuck no than stuck yes or stuck and.
And
but I say stuck and because I do understand that
I think everybody's about to make a valid point.
Yeah, I'm stuck in.
Yeah.
I think
actually before I say something, I want to hear B Wood. Why do you feel like you're stuck in?
Because most of the time they fraud, so they ain't gonna be. No, seriously. I mean, I think you told me this a long time ago. You're not gonna find one that checks all the boxes.
100%. I
It's a
did tell you that.
politician.
So
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
Yeah,
There's no way you're gonna find a perfect, whatever you believe, person that has every mark.
Yeah,
perfect.
there was one, but he wasn't a politician.
So you might well, yeah. So you might well just take an L,
Yeah.
and choose.
Make your L big or small. Yeah.
John, you say you stuck, yeah.
That's pretty tough.
I think just because with all the religions that we have in the world and in America today or whatever, like
That's a good point.
I think I say stuck because it's not the laws and everything else aren't based on that religion, or let me phrase that, they're not supposed to be. So with that being said, you really have to like look at when you're making your political choices and everything else, what is the morally correct thing on this topic, or morally correct thing, which scientifically and based on like the human brain and everything else, moral is not based on religion. Moral is based on action. It's based on like, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously you have the Bible, people have religion, and with religion comes their morals, but people who do not have religion still have morals. Therefore,
100%.
what is that based off?
Some people may argue
I'm
the opposite.
disagreeing
Oh no, 100%. I
125%.
understand that people will argue opposite that because number one, we're humans. Number two, there are many religions, so therefore, based on that alone, I understand people will argue that.
Well, I'll explain why I am vehemently against that. Not because of the different religions. I think even all the religions have mostly of the religions have at least one singular God reference. Okay, there could be some religions that have multiple gods, and that it plays out in the world right now. So I'm not saying that there's religions that don't. I'm saying that most of them have a singular core that they're driving their morals from, which is a God concept. That is not a human concept. Morality is a truth through whatever core you're driving through from a God concept. It's a
What about the
except
non-believer?
for the
though?
people who aren't
What about
religious.
the non-believer?
So
They got morals too.
So my argument's always been with, say, like an atheist or somebody who's a non-believing individual, that the morality clause makes it a little bit hypocritical. Though don't use the word morality, because morality is a God-driven concept. It's not in every religion.
If you're saying it like that,
So you're saying
You can't define morality without God. So if you're a non-believing,
because the word is attached to theism.
it's only defined by whoever God you want to call it out. Call them out. Name all
So,
million of
so
them.
a better
has to
word,
be.
what you're saying is a better word may be values.
Well,
Sure,
so,
but more.
but
more
you can
the
say your
definition.
God, but your God could be the government. Like
No,
that could
no,
be
no,
your
no.
God. If
Hear
you're
me
saying
out.
any God, it
Hear
can
me
just
out.
be any
Like,
God.
actually, not what you worship, but actually actualized religions, not like what you
Okay, I see
worship
what
as an
you're saying.
individual.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Actualized, accepted religions by all the definitions that we've derived today for a religious thing to be a religious thing, right?
Look it up on what's the name.
So those gods, whatever you attrive to, I believe that in Jesus Christ, but whatever you attrive to, is driving the definition of the morality that you're running from. This is always my argument with folks who don't believe in God. And I love you as an individual if you are still somebody who's struggling with the idea that God is existing.
Concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness
Again,
or
I
badness
ask
of
who
human
defines right and wrong.
It can be based on a culture or religion or philosophy or a code of conduct or a standard, but who decides is right and wrong?
There's a judge for that. Who's the judge?
The person is the judge. And what I'm saying is, on the opposite
Because
side
you
of
can
that
put your
spectrum,
own
the person
values
is
and
that.
your own beliefs there
Right.
to have morals.
So
you are your own God or whatever God you
Right.
believe
So
in.
in other words, and this is again where it gets slippery. With that same logic, because we can't. But don't. I'm glad y'all landed there, but don't sidestep with this. What I'm about to say. So then because let's define what a God is then to you. If you're your own God, okay. What are some character traits of a God? What would you say are character traits of a God? Would maybe creation of life be one of them? Wouldn't you say?
Wouldn't I say that
Any-
of a God? And we're talking about
Any God.
It
Well,
could
then,
be. Like,
it could, yeah. I wouldn't say. We're talking about a God like there's too many.
I'm talking about attributed gods who you just call out, like the God of fire, the God of because I just call it God.
Come on, yeah,
So
yeah.
so
talking
instead of
about-
asking us what we define it as, make the statement I define a God as, so that you can lead that because you're the one making that
I'm going
claim.
to my point. So I ask questions to get to my point. You just have to answer them. You don't have to answer them if you don't want to. But
It's not about that, though. I'm saying if you are the person making the claim,
no,
then your
I'm not
claiming
making the claim. I'm
statement
asking
is-
you questions for somebody to make the claim about what.
right. The
Yeah,
answer
I'm
is
not
that-
making the claim.
The answer is if we're, it could be anything.
No, my point is no. We're not going to do the could. I'm saying
No, but that's
the
the-
actual religions that are attribed on Earth.
But-
Forget the
Right.
the
The
belief
ones that
systems
are-
that aren't a
Pause,
tribe.
because you just went to there's monotheism, and then there's
Several different.
there's several, right. And so why I say it could be is if we're in talking about totality of all of them,
Sure.
there could be one that is the creator, and another one there could be another one that is creator, and another one there could be another one that's creator. So
I know.
creation could be
of the gods
a
that are
characteristic.
attribed on this earth of different religions, I would go on a limb to say there are a list of attributes that they share to be defined as the gods of the people who have those religions. They, in order for you to say this is my God and this is an attributed religion, you literally have to define that path. As a Christian, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the triune God, which is the God the Father, God the Son, the Holy Spirit. These are definitions that I can go look up on a website that have definitions of who God is to me because this is my religion. Every religion does this.
Right.
So what I'm saying is if they all do that, then they have attributive definitions of what their characters are. One of them, I would go on a limb to say, is creation. So
Right.
So to prove the point I'm trying to make about morality coming from a lineal definition of what God is, if you are your own God, show me the attributes that these gods that have already been contributed as actual gods on earth, show me that same thing in your life as an individual. And then I can say you're a God. If you have those attributes, you're a God. Well, I can create. No, life. Can you create life?
Yeah, I mean,
And
so
that's
you
a-
can.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
a
God gave you life,
bad
but you can
argument.
create
That's
life.
a bad
I'm saying-
Is it?
Yes.
And
that's true.
here's why I don't know. I wouldn't call it bad.
I'm
but
sorry.
here's where I think where somebody who would be arguing against you may feel as if they have some levy point to where they weren't moved by what you said. Yes, all of the things that you were saying were true,
Sure.
and each God will have characteristics.
Sure.
But then there are some religions to which there are multiple gods that have multiple characteristics.
Sure.
And I don't know all of the religions, so is there a religion out there where there isn't necessarily a God of creation? So if somebody practices a religion or that faith where there's no God of creation, then creation isn't a attributing factor.
And
to it.
here's okay. So we're not gonna move because I want this point to be given. So we're creators in the same argument. If what you're saying is the opposite or the answer that I'm looking for is just whatever answer you're wanting to say for it, which is yeah, sure, these people are creators. The people that think they're gods, they're also creators in their mind.
Yeah.
Sure. So what I'm understanding of this and why I've always went back and forth with about folks who don't have an understanding of God and or don't want to or feel like there's no need to understanding God. So the morality from your own definition is based off of whatever I want to create because I'm a God.
100%.
Or you feel is right or wrong.
This is a scenario I always use and I would like for somebody to answer it honestly without fighting me. Just answer the question. This is a scenario, very, very dark scenario, so get ready for this. I never knew Cori in my life, and I'm on the other side of the street, and I see Cori, and I say, man, that's a really cool guy over there. I'm going to go introduce myself. I walk over, I shake his hand. Hey, Cori, nice to meet you, man. I just get this weird vibe. I just had to come introduce myself, man, and you feel like, you seem like a guy that I just wanted to get to know, dude. So can you tell me a little about yourself? Yeah, sure. And you go for the next 15 minutes, and me and you have a disconnected conversation where we're just in it, back and forth. It's amazing. You know what, Cori, man, let me get your number, dude. I know you got to get to work. I got to go do what I got to do. Can I get your number? Everything's going fine. He gives me his number. I take out a gun, I shoot him in the head, and I walk off. Now, as I'm walking off, I say, man, that Cori was awesome, dude. He was such a great guy. I'm so happy to have met him. He lived a great life. I was so happy to do that for him. I should be able to walk away with that same logic and have this type of internal conversation without being called crazy or wrong because I'm driving my own morality. To me, it was morally right to do what I did to you because that meant I liked you. because I
Yeah, but
define.
with-
Yeah,
Morals
but
are
it was
still
not
structure
morally
of
right
law.
to cause harm to someone else.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no.
There's still a-
No,
thank
you're,
you.
I know you're.
So
I see.
define who
I see
said
your
that.
point. I see
'Cause
your
I'm
point.
telling
but
you
there's
that
still
it
a,
is
but,
morally
there,
right.
but,
But the-
there's still a.
Don't say a core. Don't.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
no,
oh,
no.
Even,
There's a
even your
code.
belief in God is still your personal value that you're putting there to create morals.
No.
So no, what
I-
I'm saying, what
yeah.
I'm saying is in general, like you that moral that you created to go shoot him was something that you wanted to do for your morals. That's it.
no,
you don't
so
have
you-
to believe in no God to.
No.
These are laws. There's different things that are structured for you to create.
So
some
do I
thought
go to
that you-
jail? Do I?
That whatever
that's the law.
If that's the law, then you go to jail. But that's still if your moral says, hey, my moral says when I meet somebody, my moral is I can just shoot them and do what I want. Then cool. But you still have laws that you have to abide.
So my
Morals
point,
is
so-
something that you get your own data. For me, is you collect your own data. Even if you believe in God, you collected your own data, but you have faith. That's the only reason why it has some kind of value to you. That's it. But it's
Yeah,
still
those are
data that
just-
you had to collect.
I think those
That's
are,
all I'm saying,
those
it's
are
just
just
collected
opposing
data.
statements we're all making. I don't think we're understanding what I'm saying right now. Who defines the morality?
You.
If it's me, okay. So is morality used to create law? Would you agree?
Sometimes,
Most
Yeah.
times?
probably most.
Because isn't law right or wrong? Like it's a right and wrong. Isn't morality right and wrong? It's in the definition.
I
So-
think morals in the conversation when you create laws.
Right.
No, I think it is. No, listen. So morality is literally right and wrong. The law is literally right and wrong. I'm saying
Not
just
literally. This is not literally.
by definition.
There are some yes and no.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
It's
the
not
reason why I say
literally.
yes and is because if we take something like I use slavery.
Okay,
At one point, slavery was legal,
was it moral? It should have been moral.
but for the reason why there was a civil war for the lay of the land or for a lot of people, it wasn't moral, and then for a lot of people, it was.
There you go.
And-
So-
and
so-
social-
so hear me out.
It's self morality.
No,
And
so-
I'm not again. None of this. I'm not necessarily even disagreeing with what
No,
you're saying.
I know. I can realize that you're understanding what I'm saying. You're trying to get to
I'm
a
just
point where
saying-
realizing what I'm saying here, which is like, if that's the case, then I should be able to morally walk away from that scenario feeling good about myself. I should be able to use the law that I want to create because remember, I'm a God. I create law. Remember, we just said that morality and law are the same. It's right and wrong by definition. So I should be able to create that law too. When the guy comes to me and says, "Put your hands behind your back," I'm just gonna keep walking. Why? I created the law. The law says I do that to people when I like them, and I'm morally happy to do it.
Would I shock you
Yeah.
to tell you that people do that?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you real life scenarios.
Right, that's what I'm
So,
saying.
But listen to me. We're discussing whether or not God is the creator of that morality or if the human being is the creator of that morality. I'm saying, by definition, morality comes from a creator. And if you feel like individually you're creating your own thing, I can't disagree with you. But I should be able, in that same logic, to tell you exactly what I just said, and no one should judge me for it. I should walk down the street and they should go, oh, that's his own morality. It's weird. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have shot that guy. I just would have told him to come by for dinner. But hey, that's his law. That's his morality. I guess we'll just pick up this guy's body and keep moving with the same logic.
Well,
So that
people
do
that though.
But that same logic
But then we
creates
don't
the
have,
same.
We don't have laws. We don't have people going to jail
No,
for murder.
what
are you saying?
No. I'm saying that in the scenario that you're using, the trippy part is you'll say, "I shot this person. I should feel comfortable
because I
feeling
did
away."
this.
The thing is, you do. The things that make you feel uncomfortable is that other people don't.
Mhm.
I will use, unfortunately, like somebody who is committing a mass shooting or something like that. I would probably levy to say that, especially even if we use something like Columbine, because we have the tapes of it, they felt very comfortable in what they were doing and after what they were
felt
doing.
that they were right. in
They
doing it.
felt like they were right in what they were doing.
Yeah, and this is where I say it gets a little quirky. Don't you guys understand where I'm
No,
coming from?
but there's
There's
good
then
morals and bad
everything's-
morals.
That makes no sense. Bad morals makes no sense.
What I'm saying is, it could be the morals that he wanted. So the acceptance of, is that an accepted moral that, like, in other words, everybody can have their own morals, but is this accepted?
No,
that's all I'm saying.
What I'm
It's
saying
like,
is
is that
what we're
accepted?
saying out loud, guys, is oxymoronic. Everyone should have their own morals.
No, I'm not saying that. It's
that
just
are
what is accepted.
No, accepted means other people.
No.
Is it
I
that
think
we're
what
having-
Brian's trying to
like,
say
does it-
is there are two things that are happening. We're not saying what should be going on. We're saying what is going on.
No, I'm sticking to the definition of where morality comes from. Which
No,
is,
but we
No.
just
Okay,
Yes.
fine.
You're not.
Okay.
I just told you the definition.
Okay, look,
and it did
look.
not say anything that it comes from religion.
But you said
it is
there's other religions.
associated with religion.
But
No,
you
no,
said
no,
there's
no, no, no.
multiple religions, so there got to be multiple moralities. There's got to be multiple moralities.
The definition of morality is true, is right and wrong, correct?
No.
No, but I'm just saying, even if so, if there's different religions, that
Okay.
proves the point that there got to be different morals. So if there's people over here that are X, Y, and Z and believe in this and they have this morals, I might not believe in the same thing, and I might draw my own value, my own data to create my own morals.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Whatever information that person got to create their morals apparently got him to do that. And then when you put it to the judge, when you go to the judges, when you're right there, are those morals good or bad? Yes or no? And we're going to say no, because compared to all these things like the law, different morals over here, and what we consume is the right morals, those aren't right.
An example would be there are other countries where things that we would say
There it is right
are
there.
not great here,
There it is.
we would never allow here, are
100%.
allowed in other countries, and vice versa. So that's the point that you're trying to
100%.
make.
Yeah, that's
Not
what-
that
that's
it
all I'm
should
trying to
be,
say. It
because
should
you're
be.
saying, and the truth is, yes, it is oxymoronic if we say I have morals and they
Everybody
will be
should accept
accepted.
it.
Or, right.
It makes no sense.
But what Brian's saying is, the fact of the matter is, that's exactly how it is. I have my own set of morals,
Yeah.
and the mass of people are going to determine if those morals are
There
accepted
you
or
go.
not.
They're the judges.
And that's
And
where
that's the thing that sucks.
And this is the point that I'm making. That's the fault.
Yes.
think
No,
it is the fault.
I think the fault is that we think that we're the judges. And I'm trying to tell you that the definition of that thing we're trying to call it, that we're judging, is not defined by us.
No, 100%. But
There's
that's
a creator that
100%.
that started these laws that have nothing to do with judge. I'll give you an example. The law of physics. Is this something that was created and put into a courtroom and decided on and all that? It's an actual law, though. Who's going to disagree with me that the law of physics is a law, so we can just say this is ridiculous, right? Nobody. It's a law. It wasn't created by any person, the law of physics. It's existed because there was a creator who has an existence creation, and that's where we get the law from. In that same breath, we can talk about morality being created in the same way as a law of good and evil, a right and wrong.
But we would
So,
still have different morals, though, because there's
Right.
different religions.
No,
Regardless of whatever it is, we would still have different morals.
morals is, what's the definition of moral again? Right and wrong is not in there at all, you said?
I
it is
didn't say it wasn't in there. I said it wasn't predicated on right and wong.
said
You said it is defined by right or wrong.
So where does right and wrong say?
It says morality is a system. That alone gives you leeway.
Who
A
creates the
system of
system?
principles
Who created the
or
system?
standards that categorize actions,
Who created the
intentions.
system?
Let me finish. Intentions and decisions as right or wrong, good or bad.
Bro, you
It
literally-
it can be based on culture.
But
It
you
is.
said,
Listen,
no, I
it
can't-
can
I
be
don't
based
need
on
to.
culture, religion, or philosophy.
No,
That's
I
it.
don't
Code
need
of
to listen.
conduct or
You
standard.
said it was not predicated, and then you read the predication of right and wrong.
But
It says
his first
It's
saying, his
decisions
first thing was
as.
anybody. It could be
Decisions
religion or
as.
anybody.
That's a decision.
It could just
It's
be
not
anybody.
predicated
As what,
on
son?
the
As
fact
what?
of right or
As
wrong.
what? Right or wrong. As
Good
what?
No, it's
or
just
bad.
morals don't
Good or
have to be
evil.
based on
Great.
religion.
It's
That's
the
all
same
it
No,
is.
no, I didn't
It's
say
just-
good or evil, good or
Yeah.
bad.
Good or bad, sure.
Listen,
And
but what I'm saying
the
is-
as makes it predicated on. What are we talking about? Those things before it were the predications, and you said as good or evil or right or wrong. That's a predication. That's what I was saying. Then it could also be, which is secondary, whatever you're talking
It's
about.
not secondary. It's the
It
same.
could also be the predication. We're talking about predication, means predication before. It explained you as
A
true
system of
or-
principles.
As what? Say it again. As what? Just tell me
Categorize
after
actions,
as.
intentions, and decisions
As what?
as right or wrong,
That's
or
it.
good
So
or
all
bad.
that stuff that you explained was to explain the predication of true or right or wrong or good or bad, bro. That's
Not
all
or.
I'm saying.
I know,
and
but,
good or
but
bad.
for me,
It's
it's
common.
right or
Make my
wrong
point
from
even
where?
more.
Where's the source
No.
of right or wrong? It says culture, religion, or this.
No, it
Right.
said it
That's
can
the
be.
most important
It said
thing.
it can be. It was predicated
But
on.
that's what I'm- the fact that it could
Wait,
be.
wait. So
let's go
there,
deeper.
that right there, if you're saying that it can be,
Let's
then
go
it is
deeper.
very
Let's go
factual
deeper.
that it can't only be
Who
religion.
created the system? Let's go deeper.
That's the question you're asking now. Let me jump into this.
No, because I'm coming back to this.
That
But we
is
want to. Yeah.
but that's the right question.
There you go. Who created the system?
The right question is who created the system. That's the question we all struggle on.
and
as
it cannot
humans.
answer by,
because
like,
He
with
can't
everyone.
answer it. We
Can't.
don't want to answer it. We know what the answer is. You can now what we again what we my belief is Christianity. I know there's people that believe in different things, and I'm not
100%.
again I'm not a judge to judge them. This is why I'm not saying that you're wrong. But in every other place in our life, there is a system that predestines things off of judgment. We have people that are top, people that are bottom, people in the middle of the class. This is in every single ounce of the world. My question remains, who is the system creator? Our issue as humans is it's hard for us to figure out. This is why we have different beliefs, right? All I'm saying is if different gods or not, the system was not created by humans.
No, we know
That's
that.
not
But
a
you're
system.
basing it off of that belief.
We know
No,
that, but
right
there's
there.
other people that don't believe that. Is what we're trying to get at.
So
That's
tell
all
me
he
who
But
made
you're
the
saying that it's
system.
not-
off the jump.
I know.
Here's
Tell me
a-
the people
here's-
that said they
here's
made the
how-
system. That's
here's
what I'm
how
saying.
I'll answer that question. Are you familiar with the allegory of the cave?
Of course.
Okay. If that person in that cave was never introduced to another human being and was never introduced to any type of religion,
Mhm.
could that person create
Mm.
their own philosophy?
Mm.
So to that, if I am the person, this is just me really just being a thought partner in this exercise.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
If that
Which
person
by
was-
the way, I appreciate this. That
Right.
we need everyone needs to have this.
If I'm sitting on this couch and I was that person that just got pulled out of that cave,
Mhm.
and you were to, let's say, ask me a question, the same scenario, and you said, "How do you feel about that?" And that person said, "I don't know. I don't know if that person deserved to die. That kind of felt wrong." Then, how do we respond as believers
Mhm.
to this person who has never been introduced to the Christ that we know,
Yeah.
yet
Has the feeling.
has a system of beliefs
Come
and
on.
a philosophy?
Come on, from where?
That's the question.
No, I'm telling you something. So
That's all I'm saying.
we
That's the
live in a
question.
natural world that have natural laws that were not created by us. You can drop a person in the middle of nowhere in the United States, in the middle of nowhere in Antarctica, in the middle of nowhere in Africa, in Spain. It doesn't matter because we are held down by laws of a creator. Now, we can argue till our face turns white about which one that is, which 10 that is, which 50 that is. That's what the humans do, right? That's what we do. But so, in other words, like I'm not actually disagreeing that people have different belief systems. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. This is not about whether or not I believe people have different belief systems. Of course, I'm not stupid. People have different beliefs. I'm saying, to Cori's point, the question should be singular because you can't come up with all these different scenarios and they all have different belief systems and different morals, but somehow we just naturally had this thing to want to know that there's something bigger. No, there's laws of nature that force us to see it. There's things that are just too perfect, bro.
Oh, okay, but what I'm getting at
I think
is
we gotta get, at least for me,
Yeah.
we gotta get somebody who has a perspective that has not been in religion.
And there's several.
Or I'm about to say,
There's
No, I'm
there's
talking
people
about,
who
like-
have been and who have not been, which makes potentially that
Who ha-
defense
right,
even.
right. But I'm saying the reason why, at least for this specific conversation, is somebody who has deconstructed or have left, they still have the understanding of what it means to be of said religion, right?
Yeah.
So there's already some sort of, I wouldn't necessarily call it bias,
So
but
you're
there's a
saying like
level
that's
of
not,
understanding.
that's not unbiased enough.
I want something that's like from the jump.
Never
Oh,
touch
I've
it.
never
But
thought
my
that.
thing is now we're saying just,
Because
well, yeah.
could it be an opportunity for me to witness, but also I think it's hard for us four to be able to come to a consensus or conclusion when we're looking for the exception or other people's perspective, right?
Sure.
Because all of us at some point have been faced with what we believe and who we believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I always try to put my feet in the shoe of that person. Why? Because first of all, I don't believe that's possible. This is the thing about God that's, most gods again aren't limited. I don't know. I know that there's some that have more powers than others, but when it comes to human interaction and what they can do with a human versus what they do as gods in their realm, it's usually whatever God you're praising has some kind of superpower that you can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't achieve as a human being, right? Okay, so like with that being said, if I'm considering all of that, I don't believe there's a scenario where you don't naturally just connect to find a higher power. Now, whether or not you accept that that thing is there for...
Except that's a higher power, whatever it is.
If you say, I don't accept that that's a higher power, I accept that I am just happening, that I just don't think that's a negation of the fact that there's other people that accept this as a higher power. So in the same breath...
I know they exist. Remember, I've been to a bad place. I know they exist. seen it.
No, I agree. I agree.
I've seen it firsthand.
I'm telling you, I know that there's people out there like that. But I'm saying in the same exact breath, bro, we're people that do. And what am I supposed to say that I'm looking at this tree that was made several hundred years ago from a seed, and that seed was germinated from a different type of plant in the dirt, that the dirt was created with so much CO2 that it can stay sustained over a certain amount of time, so that then, bro, stop it, man. Is there at some point I have to say
the evidence points to a creator,
because everything else in life we go to the evidence except this. And so when I'm looking at the evidence of life around me, and I don't have to go deep into books to just do this and look outside and see the craziness, the evidence that I'm seeing says there is somebody who did this that's bigger, better, badder, is not blocked by time, not blocked by method, not blocked by anything, because that's what the universe suggests. If the universe is continuous to expand as it is, and this is scientific, look it up. The universe is not the same size it was 50 years ago. It's expanding. Remember, scientists said that's not possible because there's no such thing as God, right? In order for the universe to expand, there has to be something that is helping it to expand when there's nothing past it. These are real things happening.
Get it, but yeah, they
Well, my answer, because I never got the answer, was
my bad. Go ahead, my bad.
that the reason why I say I was stuck no / stuck and is because everybody's making decisions based on whatever they believe.
Facts.
So if your basis is in religion, that's what's going to be your binoculars, right? Like we're going to walk into this political season with our binoculars on.
Sure.
Most of us won't be willing to take them off.
Sure.
To get a wider view. So most people are going to be set on their stuff. I know people who are just like, for me, this is what I'm voting on, at least when it comes to my religious aspects. For this year, I feel like God just put in my heart the fruits of the spirits. And I've been trying to be very much so a fruitful person and exhibit those fruits because I want good fruit to come from my tree. And so my judgment on people is looking. There's plenty of verses that help me with this, but is looking, what type of fruit do you bear? Because the Bible says a bad tree can't bear good fruit, and a good tree can't bear bad fruit. So if you show me bad fruit, you are a bad tree. So I'm trying to look at, when it comes to personally, can I see what type of fruit you have? And I'm judging that off of that. And then, of course, I would go by, like, policies, things that are important to me, things of that nature. But if somebody's asking me, like, oh, why do you like this person over this person? I'm going to go specifically to their fruits. I don't see patience. I don't see kindness. I don't see joy. I don't see compassion. I don't see this, or I do see this. You know what I'm saying? I don't see long suffering. I see greediness. I see, okay, that person, I don't know if I can align myself with. And that's a part of my religious belief, but it's not the only part. That's why I say I'm stuck in, because it's a major part of what I'm looking at. But then there are other things where I'm like, okay, I also got to look at what are the communities that I care most about. Katie and I are going through an IVF journey. Mm-hmm. I need to look at who's going to be able to support me in that.
Yep.
I got to look at who's going to be supporting the people who need it the most. I want my tax dollars to go to programs that are helping people in the ways that I would like them to help. So that's why I'm stuck in, because it's really a balance of both. Whatever your beliefs are, that's where you're gonna stay at.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, I love all people, whatever you believe, because that's my instruction, is to love you. Just FYI.
Listen, the greatest thing about episodes like this, you know what I'm saying, because we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You know, so I'll be able to wrap it up, get us up out of here. Is that there are times, the purpose of this podcast, on top of like being like a pop culture podcast and answering stuff, is that's why we put stuff on the wheel and we have these topics and stuff, so that we can actually take 4 educated black men who have different perspectives, who can see outside of themselves, who can see within themselves. And sometimes that means it's going to be a different type of episode. It ain't going to be the same bop, 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 bop. No. An episode may go because the conversation needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? So I wish
this was a good one.
Exactly. I wish we had 3 hours, but we don't, because people have engagements and stuff like that. So
Jimmy, I got 2 movies tonight.
Speaking of, I still got to go see Beetlejuice. I might go see that tomorrow.
Is it good? Is it what did it get on?
It got rave reviews.
Yeah, it got
rave
reviews.
I mean, but he's a monster. He's a monster.
Smashed the box office. So
I think it was weird.
Oh, it's
Michael Keaton, right?
Michael Keaton, man.
Yeah.
He's back.
Brought it back.
Yeah.
But he did Hot Ones. Did you see
really?
that?
No, I didn't see. Hot Ones, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah, but,
But,
he
I
did
ain't seen
one
that.
where he was himself, the actor, and then he was Beetlejuice. So he like it was.
Oh, so he was going back and forth like.
Yeah, he was asking Beetlejuice questions, and Beetlejuice was just killing all the wings, and all the steam was coming out of his ears.
That's amazing.
It's genius. I was like, yeah, genius.
Either way, for the rest of this week, if you are thinking about your political beliefs and how you're gonna, what way you're gonna vote, as you should be doing if you live in America at least, or if it's your country political time or voting time. I mean, people out there doing wild stuff, and you have to take time to think about it. You should sip on your tea so you can really stimulate them thoughts. Because I really do think like a nice hot beverage get your mind going. You know what I'm saying? Get some sleep, because then you can actually think well too. Because when you're not sleeping, you start thinking a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then come back for next week's, because next week's Stucky Situation is a long one. I haven't read it yet, so it will be good. Yeah. We'll see y'all next week, man. We love y'all.
What's up?
It's Stuck.
Hey.